Hey everyone, Dr. Frunkey here with a special unboxing video. In front of us is a Benchmade Hunt Series box. And as the box says, this is a custom Crooked River. Now, Benchmade just relaunched their knife customizer on their website that allows users to go in there and spec out a few of their knives. Now, before I ever made the Dr. Frunkey channel, I spec'd out a custom full-size Griptilian and had a good experience with it. And I'd always wanted to try out the Crooked River knife, and so when I saw that they were offering this and the specs that they had on there, I jumped on the chance to own one of these. So I went ahead and spec'd one out. Now, I'm recording this video the day that I get the knife, so today is the 5th of March. I built the knife on the configurator on February 18th, so this took somewhere around 2 weeks for them to build and then ship to me, so really not all that bad. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the box. This is part of their Hunt series, which is their sort of outdoors and hunting sort of knife series. It comes with the standard information on the inside. I go ahead and put the box over here. Comes in the standard Benchmade sleeve. Now, I am really happy with the way that this turned out. Take a look at this build right here, guys. So this is the Benchmade Crooked River. This is their full-size folding knife. It's a 4-inch blade. I have done mine in a very special custom configuration that is very Frunkey and very awesome. So what are the things that I did on this knife that are different from the standard model? So immediately you'll be able to notice that the blade is somewhat different, namely that it's in 20 CV steel, which is a spectacular steel. I believe they offer this in S30V as their standard steel, but CPM 20 CV is equivalent to M390 or 204P and is one of the best steels for any folding knife on the market, and so of course I spec'd that. I put this very cool laser mark skull logo on there, which is pretty wicked if you ask me. I was thinking it might be a little bit more black than it is, but honestly it looks pretty good. From a distance it looks pretty sweet. It almost looks like it's sort of old blood on there, and I kind of like that. That was the look I was going for. This is kind of going to be a badass build, and I think that it was executed quite nicely. Moving back, we have a full-on brass pivot collar right here. It is brass. This actually was on their special edition that they had. I thought that originally this was going to be anodized aluminum, but they do have various anodized aluminum options, but this one actually turned out to be actual brass. So I was pleasantly surprised when I figured that out, and it looks absolutely beautiful. I did a black bolster, black hardware, black axis lock, black frame, black G10 handles, and the black backspacer. And then I went and I did the black deep carry pocket clip. So all of these things you can spec out, and you can change it. Like this scale can be different from this scale, can be different from the backspacer. You can really go wild with a lot of different color configurations and everything like that. I went with the all-black theme because I thought it would look really wicked, and indeed it does. So let's get out the ruler here and take a look at the knife overall. It is quite a big knife. Up front, you're looking at a 4-inch blade all the way out to the tip. Cutting length is just under 4 inches. Back to the pivot, you're looking at a little over 4.5, and the overall length is coming in at about 9.4 inches. So quite a large knife overall. The handle length is coming in at about 5 1/4, and the grip area is coming in at about 4 3/4 inches. So this is a Kevin Cleary approved big knife. I knew that that was going to happen. A lot of people told me to go ahead and get the mini Crooked River, but I really enjoy these larger knives, and so I wanted to try it. We'll bring out a couple of other knives for a size comparison. Here's another big knife from our friends over at Zero Tolerance. This is the 0920, another 4-inch blade. So you can see that the Crooked River has the same blade size, but a much longer handle. Here is the Spyderco Paramilitary 2, so the Benchmade is considerably larger than that. I'll go ahead and bring out a Shirogorov F3, another 4-inch blade. Notice how large that handle is in relative to the blade size right there. Here's another nice knife that I think a whole bunch of my followers have been buying recently. It's my Koenig Arius. So this is also a full-size knife, but the Benchmade is considerably larger even than that. So very impressive on the size right there. I do really like the overall size, though. I wanted a big sort of beater knife, and this certainly falls into that category. The blade is done in this really, really nice, I want to call it clip point. It is a clip point blade. And a nice flat grind. In the 20 CV steel, I have almost no concern about this. The blade grinds are something to pay attention to on Benchmades. If we take a look at the blade, the primary bevel right here, not the large bevel, but the actual edge bevel right there, there is a little bit of an inconsistency from the heel of the blade out to the tip of the blade. This one is a bit more consistent on this side, but it is a little bit uneven from one side to the other. That's sort of classic Benchmade, but it did come ridiculously sharp. There is no way to spec out the thumb studs. I was a little bit thinking about that one. I wonder if that might become an option at some point. It would be cool to be able to choose that option. This guy runs on phosphor bronze washers, as do all Benchmades for the most part. Some of them are running on ball bearings now, but this has the standard Benchmade phosphor bronze washers, and straight from the factory, this thing is very smooth. Speaking of straight from the factory, I suppose I should mention this is not really the true unboxing video. I actually opened this knife up right when I got home, and unfortunately the knife was actually wildly off center. As you can see right now, it's actually back on center, but that is actually because I had to take this knife down a little bit and recenter things. It seems like it had a bad assembly. I think a lot of it actually has to do with the stop pin. If you get an off-center Benchmade that has one of these types of stop pins, loosen both of these things. I loosened up the, I actually took it all down first and then put it back together, but I loosened up the back spacer screws, and I loosened up the pivot, and I kind of jiggled the blade around until it was sitting back on center. I kind of held it to the side that it was not favoring, and I tightened it all down, and it looks like it's back on center and the action is okay. And so at least I was able to fix it, but man, oh man, was that frustrating that that came off center. This knife was about $291 shipped out the door, so I find it wholly unacceptable that especially a custom build from Benchmade would come to me off center. But moving back from the pivot here, we've got these really nicely done, I'm assuming these are black anodized aluminum bolsters here. They offer these in either a gray finish or this black, and I think this black is absolutely stellar. It looks great. It comes with multiple colors of G10. They have a red, they have gray, green, black here. Obviously, I went with black. There's a black G10 backspacer, and I definitely went with the deep carry pocket clip. I'm really not a fan of the split arrow or penis clip from Benchmade, but this is my favorite clip that they make, and I'm super happy with that. So I'm really happy with the way that this knife turned out. I'm definitely going to carry this knife and end up giving you a final diagnosis. A lot of people recommended getting the smaller Crooked River, but they don't offer that on the custom builder yet. I may end up doing that at some point if they do end up offering that. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with the appearance of this knife. I really wanted this to just be a really good looking knife. I think that the Crooked River at baseline is a really beautiful knife. It's a very classic profile with that clip point, and sort of a lot of people have compared it to the Buck 110. I wanted to sort of bring it into the modern era and give it sort of a stealthy look. But head on over to the Benchmade Customizer and see what you think about that. I will say that coming off center is very, very off-putting, but at least I was able to center it up. It means that the tolerances are there, but perhaps it was just a bad assembly. So if you want to check out the storyline on that one, you can head over to my Instagram at Dr. Frunkey and check that one out. I had some great commentary from my friends and my fans over there, so thank you guys for contributing to that. Tell me what you think of this Benchmade Crooked River down below in the comments. Have you guys had a good or bad experience with the Benchmade Customizer? I'm very interested to hear everyone's story. I have a very exciting knife surgery coming up for this knife, actually, where I'm going to put these forged carbon fiber scales onto this knife, so I think that'll even kick it up another notch right there. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Go ahead and click like and subscribe to my YouTube channel here. Follow me over on Instagram at Dr. Frunkey. Leave some comments down below, and as always, this is Dr. Frunkey saying, take care.